to Two Birds. I'm Fiona, and this is a simple express routine that you can do pre or post run to loosen up any tight spots and strengthen the weak spots and restore range of motion in your hips, hammies, glutes and your feet. So we'll get started, extending both legs out straight in front of you, just sitting upright, fingertips by your side. Start to circle the feet in the right direction, big circles through the feet. Stretching out through your toes, the arches, tops of the feet and the heels, and then just circle back the other way, waking up the feet. And then circle them away from one another, brightly spreading the toes and roll it back the other way. And then from here, just crossing your legs, taking the hands forward and making your way into child's pose. Knees out wide to the side, toes together, and then sitting your buttocks down on your heels. And you're really just trying to find some length and space in your upper body here. So creeping the hands forward, spreading out through your fingers, and resting your head down. Letting your belly just soften between your thighs. And so rather than being quite passive here, push down through all the knuckles of your fingers and lengthen your buttocks back toward your heels. And then send a nice deep breath up and down the spine. Shoulder blades wide in your upper back, and just take one more deep breath in here. Exhale slow. As you inhale, come up onto all fours. Bring the knees hip width apart here and tuck your toes, sitting your buttocks back on your heels. And you might need to keep the fingertips on the floor just to support yourself there. If you can, come to sit upright, leaning your weight down onto the toes and hugging the heels toward one another and up toward the sit bones. Taking 3 deep breaths here. Breathing in and out through the nostrils. And leaning your body weight down onto your heels so the toes really brighten here. And then a nice counter stretch coming forward onto the fingertips. Separate your feet just a little bit and then leaning back onto your hands, raising the knees. Could be just a little way. You might be able to come down a little bit further. You might be able to come all the way down onto your forearms. Just judging for yourself. Sensing the feeling tone of the stretch, a place where you can sustain a nice rhythmic breath. And you can feel a deep stretch through the tops of the feet. One more deep breath in. And as you exhale, rock forward, hands forward, tucking the toes, lifting your sit bones up and back and making your way into downward facing dog. And gently pedaling out through your heels. Take that nice and slow, linger either side. Your heels don't need to reach the floor, you're just encouraging them to stretch deep within your range of motion. And then from here, keep a bend in your left knee. Turn your right foot out 45 degrees. So you want to get the knife edge of your right foot firmly anchored on the floor. Pressing evenly into your hands. Lean your weight back toward the outer edge of your right leg. A nice deep outer hip stretch. IT band stretch. And then from here, take your right toes to the back of your left heel and encourage your left heel toward the floor with your toes. A couple of breaths here, staying even and steady through the hands and in your breath. Switching sides, a bend in your right knee, turn the left foot out
45 degrees, straightening the left leg as much as you can, keeping the right knee nice and soft. And left toes to the back of your right heel now, encouraging your right heel to soften toward the floor. One more deep breath in. And exhale, release. Walk your feet forward and come to stand with your feet hip width apart here. Nice deep bend in the knees. So you lay your torso down on your thighs. You're not pulling on your lower back spine there. Taking your hands behind the back of the legs, cross the arms and thread your hands through to the front of the shins. And let your head drop and relax. Raise the shoulder blades up away from the mat. And then lightly tipping forward until you feel evenly balanced through all four corners of your feet. Lifting the sit bones and encouraging a stretch into the larger hamstring muscles. Lifting up through the arches of your feet, all the way up through the inner seams of your legs. Drawing yourself a little closer toward your thighs. One more deep breath in. And exhale, release. Walk yourself now to the top edge of the mat. Stepping your right foot back to the back edge of the mat, right knee to the floor. Making sure your left knee's right over the ankle there, and you've got a diagonal line, right hip down to your right knee. Send your heart forward, your chest forward, letting the hips sink. Nice firm belly. As you feel yourself breathe out, walk your hands back and work towards straightening your front leg, keeping your chest open and bright so your lungs are available. Walking forward and just cycle through a couple of rounds like that. So nice fluid movement, bathing the hips, groin, and inner thighs, hip flexors with a little bit of movement. Walk your hands forward, take both hands to the inside of your left foot over in the left lane. And peeling open onto the outer edge of your left foot, just take your left hand to the inner left knee there, encouraging the hip to gently open without straining or being aggressive in any way. And perhaps pulsing a little in the hip, easing off, and then deepening into the stretch. Walking the left foot back to the midline of the mat, just simply step up. And repeat on the other side, your left foot stepping back, a nice long stride, left knee to the floor. Heart comes forward as you breathe in, rolling back as you breathe out, flexing the toes back toward your knee, kneecap points right up toward the ceiling, quad muscles engage, and you're sending the stretch into the belly of your hamstring muscle right in between your buttocks. And the back of your knee there. Roll forward, cycle through a couple of rounds, just nice and fluid. Smooth with your breath. And then walk forward, hands to the inside of your left foot, of your right foot. Right foot in the right lane. Peel open onto the outer edge of that right foot and just gently encourage your right knee away from you. Feel that through the adductors. Inner right thigh. Ease off a little as you breathe in and deepening into the stretch as you breathe out. And then walking your feet up to the top edge of the mat, left foot steps forward and just come to sit there. And from here, something for your deeper buttocks muscles here, a seated hip groin stretch.
So you want to walk your feet away so you've got really only like a big wide tent underneath your legs, and you're going to take your hands behind you, take your right ankle to the top of your left knee, and then you can slide your left foot back and just judge for yourself how far back you can bring it without slouching, dropping or drooping. You want to stay very upright so you can breathe into the full circumference of your lungs, and you can sense a stretch through the outer right buttocks. You can take a little rock side to side. And then just switching sides. Take your feet away, so you've got a little bit of space to take your left ankle, top of the right knee, and then walking the right heel back. Lifting up nice and tall through the spine, pushing the floor away with your buttocks, your hands, flexing your left toes, little rock side to side. One more deep breath in, and as you exhale, release, extending both legs out in front of you, and again keep a little bend in the knees. So if you've got really tight hamstrings, bend your knees even more. Flex your toes back toward you and catch a hold of your feet with your hands, lifting up nice and tall. So thinking about keeping your torso on your thighs here, just finding a safe stretch. Start to walk your heels away, drawing your chest forward, your heart forward, and pausing when you feel a stretch through the back of your legs. Lifting up as you breathe in, finding a little bit more length from the low back spine to the crown of your head. Lightly tuck your chin in, folding forward. One more deep breath in. Exhale to fold in, relaxing your shoulders, dropping your head. And slowly rising up, ready to go. And you can do that pre or post-run. It's probably more effective as a post-run routine, but it's nice to get warmed up before you go, help reduce injury. Hope you enjoyed. Namaste, yogis.